So you can see the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which is the purple. It's funding and pass through for WGBH Boston. And Killian at MIT, maybe if we could slide it up a little bit, he got the Corporation for Public Broadcasting set up. So again, like all the time I was a progressive and I was thinking, I'm listening to smart radio, NPR. Well, it actually comes out of the War Machine. And the funder for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting was actually through the Carnegie Corporation and John Gardner, who was connected to the OSS and a UN delegate and connected to the Educational Testing Service and Health Education and Welfare. And so if you put on the lens that maybe there's something outside of our time scale and outside of our problem space, and they're imagining that eventually we're going to label children as a computational resource in a biohybrid superintelligence run on Web3 and game mechanics, you can see the extent to which Sesame Street and the electric company, right? And things like these public services, especially if you can tie them into beneficial outcomes, right? We're helping poor kids by putting them on good quality after school television, right? Feeding them good stories so that they can be good nodes in the civic computation mechanism. But again, Carnegie is deeply connected to quote unquote world peace, which is the homeostasis. And they were the center of educational technology. I mean, Carnegie Corporation underwrote the Flexner report that changed the health system training. And they've always been behind the educational technology. And going back to Lloyd Morissette, and this is not on this map, but we went to Boulder, and like a lot of the early ed tech infrastructure actually was situated in Boulder and was allied with Lloyd Morissette and Joan Gantz Cooney of the Sesame Street and Sesame Ventures, which is now a venture capital arm. So, why does Sesame Ventures exist, right? Where did it come? Where did the idea that you would take investment capital and link it to a beloved 1960s pseudo-progressive TV franchise, and then link it into venture capital tied to educational technology and big bets on human capital? Well, it starts to make sense if you try on the lens that, maybe this is about synchronizing and training and harnessing the intuitive, imaginative, creative capacity of children through a digital media interface that they've been accustomed to. And again, now my child is in their early 20s, but very few people would suspect, or would think, maybe the children's television programming had other stuff going on behind the scenes that 50 years later was going to lead to a much more complex story than we understand, right? Of how we interact with digital information, and how children interact with digital information, particularly vulnerable children who need the social safety net, so to speak. That the social safety net is a neural net connected to the global biohybrid superorganism.